Welcome to a new daily top AskReddit video. Today's topic.
What is an experience that you had which you only see in porn movies? I work as a handyman. A couple of weeks ago I rang up the electrician that has been helping me on a renovation. I realized that I had made a mistake in the location of some cables that he had run, and I could not put the gyprock on the wall until he fixed my mistake. He was there in 20 minutes. We didn't have sex, but outside of porn, no one ever gets a tradesman in 20 minutes. As a homeowner, this comment wins. I was at a bar with a female friend. We ended up going outside and met with 3 other girls and started talking. Somehow we both agreed that we like sluts, and then my friend suggested that I rate their boobs. So there I am in a dirty alleyway judging 3 girls' boobs. She was a great wingman. Luckily, you didn't start a war that time. Coming home from the war would be a pain in the ass, but a great story over drinks. Girl I was eating out squirted in my mouth, hooked up with her the next day and fingered her until she squirted all over the bed. I've never been into squirt porn, but that experience was one of the hottest things I've ever experienced sexually. I had a FWB like this once. I wouldn't stop until she squirted all over my face. Man, I miss that. The thing with squirting is the first few times it's really hot, but after years of washing sheets and towels daily it gets a bit annoying. You must be exhausted. Daily? ? Isn't squirting piss? Asking because it seems that no one wants to tell the truth. My partner has done most stuff, but men making her come wasn't one that was common, so she'd never squirted except alone. I was very into it and wanted to see her squirt. After the first few times having it happen, the porno squirt episode happened. She was extra horny and I was hitting the spot. It was a gush so big I've never seen anything like it. Legitimately, I've never seen squirting porn where a girl erupted in this huge gushing wave this big. I've seen a few similar. I'm not talking about that Cytherea strongest stream of pee look. I mean like a 3-dimensional mass of squirt erupting under huge pressure. Felt like it was the size of my hand, and it blasted all over my hips and dick, and that really did it for me. Having that wave of squirt blast my cock. Just a pure porno moment. And like in those scenes, she's so overwhelmed with pleasure, in this case real, that she has no idea what I'm talking about. Her brain is fuzzy while I'm painting pictures of, if this was filmed for a porno it'd be a legendary gif. So now I have a kink. Squirt hitting the head of my dick. I dated a girl like this. We couldn't have sex without the bed literally getting soaked all the way through the mattress lol. Miss it, and it was the hottest thing, my goodness. Same experience, new kink lol. It was a woman who approached me at the bar and said, I just need a man to throw me around a room for a few hours. I didn't know this woman, it was at a family wedding. I said my wife wouldn't like that. The woman says that my wife would never know. My wife was stood next to me, but she was ordering drinks at the bar, so I can understand that it didn't look like I was standing next to her. I grabbed my wife. Let me introduce you to my wife. She didn't stop. About an hour later, when my wife was out of view, the woman comes back to me and says, I'm off to my room, it's number 14, the door will be unlocked, in 10 minutes say you're off to the loo and I'll make sure you're not missing for too long. Unlucky for her, I'm faithful. I always wonder if these things happened because of the wedding ring effect, as it's not the only time someone has been forward with me in front of my wife. Like, are they attracted to married men or just interested in seeing if they're seductive enough to pull a married man? Let me introduce you to my wife is absolutely a fantastic play in that situation, well done. Plot twist, she ends up leaving with your wife instead. I once went to a wedding where I only knew my then girlfriend. These were her people who she'd known in university. On the drive there, she confessed she had a frenemy who would almost certainly take a run at me, to even some old score between the two of them. I acknowledged what she said, but kind of forgot about it as the ceremony, dinner, and reception rolled on without incident. The wedding wrapped up around 8, but it was understood there was an after party at a bar the whole gang knew and loved. We go there, and the place is packed, so I get my then girlfriend to hold down seats while I get drinks from the bar. A woman next to me at the bar is being more than a little flirty, but whatever, it's a Saturday night, and I'm dressed to the nines. I am polite without really engaging, but she ups her game, basically making it clear I can have a one-night stand if I want it. I confess I had the thought, where were women like this when I was single? Then I told her I was getting drinks for my then girlfriend to put her off, pointing across the room at her. That's when this woman reached up and whispered in my ear, I would climb you like a mountain. I am a tall guy, and she was a little firecracker, and that remains the sexiest thing anyone has ever said to me who I was not in a relationship with and never would be. I extricated myself politely but firmly, and took the drinks back to my then girlfriend, who confirmed for me the lady at the bar was her frenemy. Like a wildebeest. Years ago I worked on a mine. The young admin girl had an office right next to the site manager's office. When the site manager went out for meetings and site inspections, I would go to the office to inspect the admin girl. We fucked on her desk very often. Man, I miss my 20s. And they call it a mine. A mine. Colleague sex is really something. Throwaway account, of course. I was on a short business trip with a subordinate. We did our meetings for the day, then we had dinner and a quick drink before retiring back to our rooms. Now I am not sure if she was trying to just ingratiate herself with the boss, but she linger around and often hangs around me. Work-related, non-work-related stuff, etc. I'm just chilling in my shorts and watching Predator 2 on TV. Knock on the door and I answer. In just my shorts, yes. Warning sign 1. She has some points to discuss, so we do. I'm sitting at the desk, she's sitting on the bed. She was not dressed like I was, but just relaxed clothes. Short shorts and t-shirt. It was a long day, so we share another drink. Warning sign 2. We finish our chat, which I got was kind of superficial and could have been dealt with tomorrow. We chat generally. She then comments that my bed was better and bounces on it while sitting. Not exactly subtle, but warning sign 3. At this point I have a boner. You know, the ones where it does the opposite of what you want, so despite my best efforts to make it go away, it gets angrier. Maybe it's the drinks or whatever, but I tell her I don't think my bed is that special. You'd think that'd be my way of ending things, right? Well, I get up and kneel on the bed next to her. Warning sign 4, to say the least. And I begin bouncing to try and prove a point. I have to reiterate that at this point I have a massive erection while in sweat shorts. So no matter how modest my dong is, it is obvious. Warning sign 5. At this point in time, call it animal instinct, but there was probably a reason I didn't end things instead of walking up to her with a massive boner. Well, she pulls my shorts down, looks me in the eye, and blows me. Needless to say, things escalates and we find that the bed was bouncy. It was intense, transactional, and unprotected. I guess it was a release for all the sexual tension. Warning sign 6. We finish and she cleans herself up and returned to her room. Next morning it was like I didn't have her legs on my shoulders or sucked on each other's genitals the night before. And all the time we worked together we never mentioned it again and acted as if it never happened. In fact, I still don't know what really happened. Actual fever dream experience. Banged my childhood friend's aunt. She was about 10 years older than us growing up. Smoking hot. When I came back to visit hometown at 22 or so, we hooked up for about a week. Till the best sex I ever had. I banged my mate's auntie too. She was a barber and cut most of her nephew's friend's hair for cash on the side. The film American Pie had just been released. All the boys used to hang shit on him because she looked almost exactly like Stifler's mom, just 33, not 45, and joke that we'd all love to FK her, etc. Then we grew up and moved on to make some mistakes as young men do. After I'd been divorced, I'm back on the scene for about 18 months. She appeared as a friend's suggestion on Facebook, then a request came and we got to chatting. Before too long the conversation turned to all the flirting, etc. Back in the day, and she wondered had she been available if any of the lads would have stepped up and asked her out. I quickly reassured her that if the opportunity was there, every single guy in our group would have been there in a heartbeat, and that even now I would still be there in a heartbeat. Her address quickly appeared in my inbox and I spent the next few months appearing in every inbox on her body. We were 20 years down the track, but she still took me to school and I loved every second of it. Mods need to either change the title of this post to Redditor Fantasies, Greatest Hits, or remove it entirely. These fucking whores came and stole the lemons right off my prized lemon tree. Had it been a couple of minutes since you looked at it? Went to a bar with a Badoo date. She asks if she can come home with me and her friend would come too. It would split the taxi fare and everyone would be safe. I was like, yeah, okay, fine. So we got to my place, chatted a bit, and her friend asks if she can go to sleep. I say yes and tell the girl they can use my bed, it's the only bed in the flat, and I'll just sleep on the couch, no problem. So off they go in my bed. 10 minutes after they are gone, I'm logged into World of Warcraft, no sleepy at all, and I receive an SMS, you should sleep with us, it's not fair for you. So I decided to go see what they were up to, and they were naked __ kissing. And the rest is history, __. So guys, here's what my 22 years old dumbass self did. I got in the bed and slept. When I woke up they weren't there anymore. I'm logged into World of Warcraft. Explains everything. Literally put on his robe and wizard hat. What character and expansion of WoW. That was during Wrath of the Lich King. May 2010. I have always played mage. I still do. Never even tried another class for more than 7 to 8 levels, lol. Lots of deep throating and spanking. Also having a girl giving me a BJ under my desk when I was in a video conference. A few weeks ago I was on a business trip out of town and my wife came with me. Married for 25 years, 3 kids, yada yada yada. We were in our hotel room because I had a Teams meeting. Once the meeting was done we were going to head out to do some sightseeing. She was pretty bored and getting antsy. I was being the normal annoying husband and whipped out my junk and did the helicopter, joked about her giving me a BJ while on my meeting. We are a very vanilla couple, yeah, no kids and all, but something happened and she was all about it. First BJ in a few years, and I had to keep my composure during my meeting. Hell yeah, hope that you two can manage to keep the energy up. Once I was sitting outside my booty call's apartment as she seemed to have fallen asleep. An older lady asked if I wanted to wait at her place, 1 a.m, then she went to get drinks and came back naked. Also I have had 2 threesomes both times with 2 women. Fuck, I love living in a ski town. Bro, out here living the life. What ski town is this, you know, for research purposes and all that? A place where the beer flows like wine, where beautiful women instinctively flock like the salmon of Capistrano. I'm talking about a little place called Aspen.